Hello everybody and welcome back to another round of Modern Melee. In the booth, once again, Ginkgo and a special guest, Rocco from Red Viper Games. Rocco, welcome back.
Thank you very much for having me. Always a pleasure to be here.
Today we have an interesting matchup between Modern Reanimator and Affinity.
Oh, yeah. Both very linear strategies, both of them, one trying to be aggressive, the other one trying to be cheeky.
Cheeky, that's a good way of putting it. So we see the Reanimator on the play, which is always a good thing by any deck, because gets you to your stuff turn prior. And from the Affinity side, only a tapped land.
Not a good start.
Not a good start. No zero drops, no nothing. But before we get into the games proper, as we see here, probably just tap land. Yeah. Before we get into the games proper, for those who are unfamiliar with Affinity, can you describe what it does and how it does it?
Well, Affinity is a mechanic that from a long time ago, where your cost for cards is being reduced by the amount of artifacts you have on the board. Which means if you have Affinity for artifacts, cost is 7, you have 7 permanents, cost 0, which is where you want to be with this deck. It's just yourself putting cards from your hand, not paying for them. Ooh, Mainborn Relic of Progenitus against a Reanimator.
That's
who's cheeky now.
Yeah, that's not a good play. This is a Faithful Mending from the Reanimator side, which is draw 2, gain 2 life, discard 2, and those 2 cards are probably ones that you also want to be in your graveyard, especially Archon of Cruelty. On the other side, as we are talking right now, Reanimator is a newer strategy from the Modern Masters 2, which...
Is it Modern Horizons?
Modern Horizons 2,
Not sure. I'm also not sure.
No, it's Modern Horizons.
It's Modern Horizons.
Basically facilitated the whole deck, as we see one of the cards in
Did we ever had a Reanimator strategy in Modern? Maybe something with these Unburial Rites?
Yeah.
But that was a long time ago.
A long time ago, there was a deck that was Unburial Rites and Gifts Ungiven, where you chose only 2 cards, and one of them was Unburial Rites, the other one was a Fetty of your choice, and your opponents had to put them both in your graveyard.
Yeah, that was during the time where people, played 6, 7, 8 turns of Modern. Now things tend to get decided in the first couple of turns. Well, I saw Grief. You saw Grief?
Yeah, there is a Grief on the battlefield which pitched 1 card and then got ephemerated for another card. And the third card probably on the upkeep of the next turn. So this is one of the quote-unquote combos of this deck, which can just spew out Grief or Solitude in the first turn and either mow up your board or mow down your hand, leaving you with not much.
Yeah, this is what I like about this deck. He's not just reanimating stuff. He has different strategies and different points of attack.
Yeah, this is also a strategy of just, I will get your hand down and dirty, and then I will probably get to, oh god, there are 3 Thought Monitors in that deck, in that hand. But I will just mow down your hand, and then occasionally probably hard cast something. Either Grief or Solitude.
Eventually win. Well, are you going to do that against Affinity? Do you have enough time? Maybe in this match.
This
is a very slow start.
Oh, yeah.
Is it because of the disruption or just pure coincidence? Probably.
I mean, they didn't have any 0 drops in their opening hand, and one of them, being an Ornithopter, was stripped away by the Grief, which I do believe was left in the hand explicitly by the Affinity player. I have no idea why. But this Relic of Progenitus is also keeping the Reanimator side in check. Yes. But how you can go about doing things while staring down active graveyard hate is just overwhelm the opponent. So asking, do you have it? Do you have it again? Do you have it now? And once they will probably be out of answers.
Oh, I'm loving this Reanimator deck. He has all the stuff.
Yeah, this is a Teferi ticking up because I think I know what the plan is. Next time is tick down on the relic and having either an empty board of relic of progenitors for one turn, or having an empty graveyard when the relic pops. And when it does, then we will continue from there.
Yeah, it's happening. It's happening soon.
Oh, I see a lot of unearths, and it's not unearths, but it's persists and other things. Oh, yeah. So, bounce the relic. Okay. Do you wish to crack the relic? Yes. Probably yes, because this also negates the draw.
Yeah. But doesn't matter.
Yeah, now they're talking about probably the draw from the...
Yeah, is it going to get fizzled or not?
Yeah, I do believe it will.
Well, I think it should too. I need to read the cards, but...
I do believe it does, because it is triggered to the actual
I think that the ruling goes, if all the targets were removed from the spell, then the spell will be fizzled. So
yes. So, as we saw here, Unmarked Graving, the Archon of Cruelty, unfortunately not another land to be just able to get this Archon of Cruelty into play.
Still a good place for the Reanimator.
Still a good place, definitely.
He has a Planeswalker, he has Grief.
Thoughtcast from the other side. And also a little bit of material on the board. Now we see the 0 mana cards being played.
Very too late to the party.
Yeah, but also this is a fodder for the Archon of Cruelty.
Yeah.
Not to say that this Archon can not just mow down everything in front of it. And for those curious, Archon of Cruelty does everything. When it comes into play, the opponent discards a card, sacrifices a creature, loses 3 life, you draw a card, you gain 3 life, and also a hindsight is a 6/6 that will do all of this again when it attacks.
Oof. Definitely a thing you want to reanimate in this format.
Yeah. So why can't you just reanimate a Griselbrand? Because
I think Griselbrand is more of a combo card. These cards that you draw, they need to do something right there and then when you draw them. And this is a different type of strategy. It just uses kind of a mid-range approach. Yes, maybe I'll reanimate Archon, maybe I won't, maybe I'll play a Teferi, maybe I'll play a Griff, maybe I'll play a Thoughtcasts, doesn't matter.
But also one extremely important thing is that you cannot persist back a legendary creature. It says non-legendary.
Good call, yeah.
So the Archon is the biggest, baddest, cruelest of them all.
Non-legendary of them all.
Non-legendary.
Are those 3 thought monitors on board?
Yeah, we saw 2 of them in the opening hand, while the Grief was picking apart. And it did buy a little bit of time, but...
slowly developing a board position.
Slowly is
not a word you want to use when you play Affinity.
Yeah, there's a lot of creatures, and this is an attack for 75 or adjacent. So this is 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 or 14 or... Yeah, they're counting it up. Well, it's probably not lethal yet. It's not 20. And
is that a flyer? No, that's not a flyer.
No, that is just...
That can be blocked, right?
That can be blocked, yeah. But
should it be blocked?
Yeah, that's my question. Because first of all, I do believe from all of the Faithful Mending that
wasn't blocked.
The Reanimator player was at a healthy life total.
Yep.
And second of all, why would you? The next time it will only be bigger. And here's a Persist, getting Archon into play, doing all the shebang, getting -1/-1 counter, which is inconvenient, but not
doesn't matter.
Sacrificing a lonely Memnite, I do believe, discarding another Springleaf Drum, the Reanimator player drawing a card, doing all the hokey pokey, and ready to do this all once again, I do believe.
If it survives,
Yeah, we will see now.
probably will. I expect a chump block from Grief and then a combat step from. Or is it smart? We'll see. We shouldn't go too far into the future.
If the Affinity player attacks, as they should, there will only be a chump block. And then the three...
we see the old friends.
Yeah, there is a problem on a flyer. And they do have enough mana to get it on this Ornithopter or any of those Thought monitors. And what it does is also... Yeah, this is a kill. Because I will tell you why. They have 2 black mana.
Yeah. They can reattach it an instant speed.
Exactly. And whichever was not blocked will just go through with the Cranial Plating, which has the
How is he getting the black mana?
One from the Spire of Industry and second one from the Springleaf Drum.
Ooh. All right.
And I do believe this is this is a scoop without any cards of attack.
They are realizes very fast. I have to say, very slow start from the Affinity player, still manages to take the win.
Yeah, Thought Monitor is a hell of a drug.
Yeah, and a hell of a card too. But the 3 of them too, but still very slow. I have my doubts for this match for the Reanimator side, but we'll see. I like to be proven wrong. We'll see how many dedicated cyber slots he has for this matchup.
Yeah, I do believe that this turn 1 or turn 2 Relic of Progenitors played a big role in letting the Affinity player just develop their cards and having a little bit of reading room without the Archon breeding about their neck. But now we will probably see a lot more either removal or just cards that stop Graveyard Hate from the opposite side. As we have seen, this is aggro match. Critical mass deck in Affinity versus something like something in the... This is a mid-range Reanimator.
Yeah, it's mostly mid-rangey, mostly diversified, not exactly very linear strategy.
Yeah.
So you're hating Graveyard. Yeah, I'm still playing Magic.
Yeah, this is a deck, a Reanimator deck with a plan B.
Yeah, with the plan B.
So as we wait for our combatants to mulligan and get their sideboarding done, let's talk about Red Viper Games. What is Red Viper Games and why does it matter?
Does it matter? Doesn't matter really.
Of course it does.
Of course, I'm joking a little bit. Yeah, we opened a store, a web shop for just, trading card games, specializing in cards mostly. You can buy stuff from Magic the Gathering, Yu-Gi-Oh, and Weiss, a new card game as well, very popular in Japan. We're just a couple of guys playing cards for the last 15 to 20 years, and we decided to make a business out of it. You can go and check it out. The link will be in the below, and I hope you guys like it.
Yeah, thank you very much again for coming here, substituting for Marco, who was unable to be here today. We see that the players have shuffled up and are ready to get their first 7 on the way. As Rocco said, the links will be down below.
All right. So, getting back to the game, looks like the Reanimator player kept his hand, but not the Affinity player, still shuffling his deck. Looks like he's mulliganing his hand. How many lands do you expect usually to be played in a Reanimator deck?
From 22 to 23, probably.
23,
yeah, that's a big number, but you also have a lot of selection in Faithful Mending, and you definitely want to get your lands underneath you, because you want turn 1 to be impactful, turn 2 to be impactful, and then you basically don't care.
So how many lands do you consider too much for a Reanimator play?
Too much in terms of a deck building decision, or
too much on the board?
On the board. all above 3 is
Too much.
I'm gonna cast Archon the hard way.
Very cheesy. I like it.
Yeah, because no, but in all honesty, 2 lands are all you need. Because the first land gets you your Thoughtseize turn 1, the second land gets you your Unmarked Grave turn 2, and then the third land gets you your Persist turn 3 with probably something like a Thoughtseize backup or even Grief backup. So this is the plan of the deck. A little bit of disruption just so you have enough time to maneuver your spells into the graveyard and out of them onto the battlefield.
But that question is very hard to answer for the Affinity player. How many lands you consider too much in the battlefield? Well, that depends on so many things. You can have 0 for all I care.
Yeah.
You have so many 0 converted mana cost spells.
One land is all the Affinity needs, especially if it's an untapped land that produces something like a Springleaf Drum into an Ornithopter, into another Springleaf Drum, into an Ornithopter, into a something like Thought Monitor, and you're off to the races. Yes.
Glimmer Void is the best choice for these kind of things, probably. But I see them only playing one-off.
I do not think they didn't
one-off
play Glimmer Void anymore. So, this is Stone Age stuff. This is
I don't even know what that is.
March of Otherworldly Light.
Whoa!
Exiles an artifact, creature, or enchantment. And guess what? That land that you just played on turn 1 is an artifact land which gets exiled by this 1 mana spell, which is a 1 mana Stone Rain. Extremely good in my book.
Not where you want to be as an Affinity player. Can you imagine playing Snapcaster Mage and flashbacking those marches?
Yeah, that
would be cruel.
That would be adequate. One might say, but this is definitely a sideboard card, especially tailored for something like this matchup and Saga matchups.
Saga.
Yeah, this is also an enchantment. Or just, those pesky 1 or 2 mana artifact, enchantment, graveyard hates, like Rest in Peace, like Unlicensed Curse, like Relic of Progenitus, whichever you want, they are answered by something like March of Otherworldly Light.
March is a card you main deck, right?
Some of them, yes.
Some of them use sideboard?
Some of them in the main, some of them in sideboard, but we have talked too much. There is an Archon on the board. I do believe
Let's stop talking and focus on the Archon.
Yeah, this is might be garbage time. We're in turn 3 and this is garbage time.
Man, I thought C's too. Yeah, this is I believe this is it, but I love to be proven wrong.
Yeah, but this is only a Thought Monitor and another land in the hand of the Affinity player, and whatever they play, whatever creature they just put on the board, and it will be just get mopped up by the Archon. And if they don't play anything, they'll just get there.
Their life is gonna get mopped up,
and their hand also. So, kaboom! 1 counter, -1/-1 counter from Persist. But it doesn't matter. This is 8 points attack swing. Also, 3 + 5 because the opponent loses 3.
Baby.
Yeah, and then you also discard their card from their hand, draw 1 for yourself, and we see a discrepancy in cards, life, and material. Just
Affinity player is thinking, I'm gonna scoop now or next turn. We'll see. All right, but this is good. It means the match is relatively even, maybe we'll see game 3.
I do believe that after sideboards, and if the Affinity player can, the Reanimator player can fade the Fable turn 1 Relic of Progenitus, they have a really good time against Affinity. Because all of their flyers that can trade with, they have no removal. If the Archon is on the board, it's on the board. And it will wreak havoc from their throughout their ranks. But if they have something against it, it will probably be turn 1 or turn 2 graveyard hate. If they cannot produce this, I do believe that with all of their material on the board and in the hand and in the Affinity regime, it will be too late.
So, what did the Affinity player tutor? What is
Gingerbrute.
Gingerbrute. What is a Gingerbrute?
A Gingerbrute is a 1 mana artifact that can become invocable. And this is extremely important for Cranial Plating attachment. And
Yeah, but I mean, I'm not a judgmental man, but maybe I would go for some lifelink stuff.
maybe they believe they have no time for it because they had to make something. They had to make another construct, and this is also one of the only creatures that can be tutored up. It attacks for 1, but also it gets to be sacrificed towards the Archon of Cruelty. Ephemerate happened.
Okay.
Which means creature less, also a blocker because it resets the Archon.
Yeah, and then triggers.
Triggers and everything else. And this was too much for the Affinity player. This is 1-to-1. Extremely polarizing matches so far.
The tension is building.
Yeah. Let's see if they will sideboard in something play versus draw.
Not.
But I don't believe so. They both of them have a firm understanding of what their decks need to do, and just a handful of cards that can be boarded in. And also, if you dilute your deck, both of them, too much, then you are left with a dysfunctional deck. In both situations.
Of course, not where you want to be. And this, to me, looks like whoever plays first has a very unfair advantage.
Oh, we'll see on third game if that's true, but definitely the signs are all there. First one on the play was Affinity, just crashed through the Reanimator deck. Second one, the Reanimator was on the play, just archoned cruelly the Affinity player. And the third one, we'll see. The Affinity is on the play.
Last game we had a mulligan from the Affinity side. This time we have a mulligan from the Reanimator side.
Yeah. We will see. Oh, also from the Affinity side.
Fair is fair.
A little bit of, do I want this hand or not? Maybe it's a little too top heavy or a little bit too bottom heavy, so a little bit too many 1-drops and 0-drops. Once again, thank you for being here.
Of course.
From Red Viper Games. If you want to check out the store and get some singles or get some sealed products for any of the games, including Magic the Gathering, go check them out. The links will be down below. Now,
thank you very much, guys, once again for having me.
No problem. Now we will see if they keep their 6, both of them.
Okay.
Seems like the Reanimator is keeping, maybe.
Yeah, I think he kept. He just tried to
decide which one goes
to put on the bottom.
Yeah, I see a Solitude, I see an Archon, I see another Solitude.
Yep.
And I cannot see anything else.
I see a blue card.
I also see a Thoughtseize there, which is interesting. On the other hand, we cannot see anything from the Affinity player's side.
Decision-making is still in process.
Yeah. This is also the one of the most crucial times in the Affinity player's turn order, what to keep and how to sequence their games so that they have maximum leverage.
We'll see.
Yeah,
very famous for its velocity. We'll see how many. It looks like a finished turn. Seems like a fair start. An Ornithopter and a Memnite. Thoughtseize from the other side. Looks like a Thoughtcast, and that's like a
Frogmite.
Is it a Frogmite?
This is a Frogmite. This is a 2-mana 2/2, getting in for 1, and we know that the Affinity player is out of gas.
Mm-hmm.
Now would be a perfect time to draw something like a Thoughtcast or Thought Monitor and just fill up the hand again. But this is something that the other decks, including the Reanimator decks, are playing towards.
It's even a better time to put an Archon of Cruelty on the board.
Or, first in the graveyard. But yeah. So what do we need here is only one Demonic Tutor or one, even better, Dark Ritual. And we are set.
Yeah.
But alas, nothing like this in the modern format, thankfully. I will say.
Oh, we'll see. Depends on who you ask. I'm also on the thankfully side. Okay, we see a Solitude.
Solitude, exiling
Solitude.
Solitude, yes, but also exiling a Frogmite and also getting ephemerated, just decimating.
Okay, yeah, this is where you want to be as a Reanimator player.
So we don't need the Reanimator side of the Reanimator. We just need a 3/2 lifelink that just decimates the board.
This is the plan B we were telling you about.
Yeah, this is the plan B,
which should actually be plan A because it works so well. Yeah, I think this is it.
This is it because the Affinity, very good game, really short. The Affinity player just said, "Yep, I have only lands. You have decimated my hand, and now my board, and I am done." So this is it. We have been proven wrong. The Reanimator, who was second on, he was on the draw, took out game 3 and proved us wrong.
That's why Magic is so fun. It's not very predictable.
Yeah, it's a game of a little bit of variance, a lot of luck, and, a little bit of deck building choices. Thank you all for watching. This is all for today's game and match. The Reanimator side takes it down 2-1 against Affinity. If you want to check out Red Viper games, give them a like, shout, and let us know in the comments that you did do so. It helps out and helps them as well. Thank you all for watching, and we will see you soon.
Thank you very much, guys. We'll see you soon.